Welcome back to MediaMix.
Shut up. You got the vibe all wrong.
No, you didn't do it monotone.
Stupid. You're
Sorry,
stupid.
sorry.
We're doing it
We
again.
can't do that because I said
Doing it again.
Welcome back to MediaMix. Today we're going to do a special kind of movie. It's called Dune, and it's confusing. Roll the intro.
Yep. Alright,
Now that we're back, as you see, we have a blank space right here, and that's going to be filled by Vicky, who is unironically late, as usual.
no, the fourth is just a chair. Chair's the fourth today.
Yeah, for now. She'll probably be here like halfway through, and we'll have to go let her in. But anyways, well, let's jump into this movie of Dune. I have a quick little...
Wait. Introduce you guys.
Oh, my bad. I'm Jack. I'm your main host.
No, you're not. Excuse me? Okay.
All right, fine. I'm co-host.
I'm Nick, the main co-host.
And I'm also Nick. I'm also a main co-host. If you guys, just to kind of let you know, two people in this room have seen the movie. Meanwhile, I have not seen the movie.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Jack asked me to be here so then I could compare the book to the movie,
See-
but I'm reading, and I understand, yes, before Jack roasts me and flames my butthole, I know I had enough time to watch the movie, but I suffer from a condition called I don't care enough. I'm kidding. I do care a lot. It's
Yeah,
just,
the reason why we didn't do this podcast like 2 weeks ago is you were like, I want to watch it. Wait, hold up. Don't do it.
no, I didn't say I want to watch it.
Yes, you
I
did.
said
You're
just
like,
go
dang, I
let-
really want to be on that one.
I
No,
never
to be
said
fair,
that.
it was just the
Pretty
reason
sure I
why is
had that on
because it was just gonna
recording.
be Jack, and Vicky, and I don't know. It just wasn't gonna work out that way. We needed a fourth for that movie.
Yeah, and then so I was like, okay, another cool perspective would be if Nick were to read like not even the book, obviously, because that'd be way too long, but just read the spark notes of the movie, of like the book that, has to do with the movie. So I was like, so we can compare, like, and, he could be like, whoa, that didn't happen in the book. But he's too lazy, he didn't even really do that. He's kind of just doing it right now.
It's because you told me that idea at like midnight last night.
Yeah, and you had like all day today. What were you doing today?
I was at the gym.
All day?
I woke up at 10. I went to the gym. I picked up Alex, and then I went and helped my mom cook for Thanksgiving. And now I'm here now.
That took a span of 8 hours.
I woke up at 10. I left the gym at 12. And then, not 8 hours? How does that math work? From 10 to, yeah, that took 8 hours. I work out at the gym. I work out at the gym for 2 hours.
Okay, there's two. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to break this crap
But anyway,
down.
no, I did.
No.
Whatever.
But
I also had a pretty good idea.
That Nick would
4
actually just
4
watch
a.m.
the movie? Oh.
to be fair,
Well,
No,
we'll get
Nick,
into
we're,
that
we're
idea
grateful
later.
you're even here. So
to be
Yeah.
fair, this is
unlike
just
somebody else here.
to be fair, this book is confusing.
So was the movie, but
The movie is very confusing.
I did write like a little thing to kind of like I don't know,
Keep us on track.
just simplify like the premise of it. So
Okay.
yeah, basically it's just a crazy story about and it has like a bunch of different parties involved. All right, the two main houses, the two main like conflicting forces
So
is
good guys and bad guys.
yeah, the good guys and bad guys. Good guys are the House Atreides, who that's what the movie mainly focuses on. And the bad guys are the House Harkonnen, I think that's called.
Harkonnen.
Yeah, Harkonnen, with the the big bald floating fat dude as the main
If
bad guy.
you ever played Dark Souls 3 and you killed Aldrich to Deep, this is his ugly older uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So yeah, they're obviously the bad guys, and then there's the Imperial family who kind of just sets the rules and kind of oversees and runs everything. I think there's like millions of other families out there, but this movie only focuses on just the two.
Yeah.
And basically, and then there's also the
The Fremen.
no, I was talking about the Truesayer people, the
The Bene Gesserit?
yeah, Bene Gesserit, who have like this crazy ability where they can like kind of just they talk in a weird demanding voice, and you're just kind of like automatically forced to do what they say. It's kind of like using the Force.
I feel like that shit is incredibly unbalanced and needs to be nerfed.
Dude, it is so OP. But anyways, basically the whole premise of this movie is I forget what the planet's called. They're on the sand planet, but
Arrakis.
Arrakis.
Yeah, Arrakis.
Yeah, on Arrakis there's spice mixed into the sand everywhere, and that spice is used for like interplanetary travel and basically
Yeah.
all their jet engine fuel.
And that's
so,
the only planet that has it.
apparently, yes, and yeah, they need that fuel to get everywhere, and people pay top dollar for it, and yeah, that's kind of what the premise of this movie is. So, super confusing. I mean, that was really the only confusing part because they didn't really go in detail of like what everything is in the beginning. But
Does
you
this
kinda
all take
learn-
place within a galaxy, or is it just like all of space travel in the universe revolves around this one planet?
I couldn't tell, but remember in the beginning where they were on their home planet, and then they got on their big spaceship, and then like I don't know, I feel like it was like a couple weeks before they even got to the sand planet. I'm not even 100% sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like a day or something like that. They don't really give
Boom.
a big time span of that. Oh, are you here? Okay, we're gonna let you in. We're in the middle of the podcast right now.
Whoa. Got a special guest coming in, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, see you in a second. All right, bye.
All right, we'll just pause and then come back.
Well, anyways, we just got done explaining the premise of this movie, how they like spice mining. I don't know if we've resumed already.
Spice
Probably have already.
I think we've just been going.
Maybe we just have. I don't know.
We said we were pausing, but
I'll decide
we
that.
just forgot to
when
press
when I
pause.
edit the video. But yeah, we just basically we're talking about
Kind of
spice
just explaining the premise of.
and how the
the
Bene
story.
Gesserit are OP and
Gotcha.
are able to like just make anybody do anything they say. I
Could
don't
you
know.
imagine, right, if Dune high schools were just like, oh yeah, everyone goes to the same schools, and the Bene Gesserit just bully, and you're like, give me your lunch money. You're just like, oh, okay, can't do anything about it because
Well,
they
I
use
guess
the
I have
voice
to
on
now.
you're like, give me your homework for copy. I'm like,
Bro.
"Oh, okay.
That scene where they're in the like helicopter or dragonfly looking thing after if their home base got taken over and
Oh,
they're like
yeah,
dropping him off
yeah.
to kill him. And,
So
like,
this is after all of Atreides is dead.
yeah, this is after all of Atreides
Okay.
is dead and they all got raided and they're getting hauled off in the dragonfly thing, and they finally get the mom's mouth
I think I know what
gag
you're
off
gonna
or
bring
whatever,
up.
and she's like, untie me, and then she's like, kill yourself.
Stop breathing.
Stop breathing. So, okay. It's so funny, dude.
I love
It's like
the
mind
dude-
control. They can't help it.
I know,
love the
but it's,
dude on the.
it's so funny.
I love the dude on that aircraft, and they're like, "We should just throw him overboard." And then he tries to use the voice, and they just punch Paul in the face.
What'd you
and the
say,
guy's
boy?
like, "Don't talk. Stop talking."
Are they all just like sons of like the big bad like fat dude, or are they like I don't
Probably
know?
soldiers.
I think that's a
Well, because
possibility.
they're all like pretty chunky.
They're
and
all
so
pretty
is
ugly,
he.
so they're probably all related. And,
I
and bred.
guess
I don't know.
they did Dave Bautista
Not an
dirty by making
expert.
him the uncle of the big bad boy.
Who is David Batista? Is that Drax?
Yeah.
He's the uncle?
He's like the
The nephew.
yeah, he's the nephew, or maybe he's the uncle. I don't know. Yeah, but he wouldn't be the
No,
uncle. He'd
no,
be
He's
the
the
he
nephew.
wouldn't
guy
be
who
the
like
uncle,
he
he's
throws
like-
a little hissy fit when they find they're
Yeah, because he
leaving
calls him
Arrakis.
uncle. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of was expecting more from his acting in this movie.
Why is
Because, like, it
You
wasn't.
expect acting from Dave Bautista?
Dude, it's Dave Bautista, bro.
I'm
well,
reading
I guess.
like
You expect acting.
I'm reading the
You
spark
expect
I'm reading the
acting?
spark notes from the book, and it's kind of funny because it's like the only name that pops up that you can kind of remember is Paul. Why is that the only name they use?
It's like the only one syllable
Aw.
name in
Yeah.
the entire movie / book
I mean, there's
series
Duncan.
probably.
Have you seen Duncan in there yet?
Oh, hang on, Jack. That's 2 syllables now. It's a little harder to remember.
Aquaman.
Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan.
Never mind.
don't finish that. Don't.
You already.
We're trying
know.
to get monetized,
I
even
could
though
be-
we've already sworn like
It
10
can still be
times.
It gets
monetized.
bleeped.
Already?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, basically,
Yeah.
I don't know. What was your favorite scene?
You're trying to
We're already that far in.
Because
Jeez.
I don't know. What else you want?
because here's the thing. If I had watched the movie and I had been more prepared, I'd be able to either poop on the movie or praise the movie, depending on what.
Yeah, I really wish you
My
would have seen
opinion
it
was-
because, like,
Let's just
I don't know.
because you and I have seen the movie, right?
Yeah,
And
sure.
you as well. the three of us have
I
seen.
should just not be here.
No, please. Let me.
What?
Let me restart. I'm bad with
Do
words.
I even
okay?
exist?
So I was having a conversation with Grant the other day, and he was like, "You've never been to Jet's Pizza?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." It's like, when I come back, we're getting Jet's Pizza. And I'm so dumb. I was like, "Man, now I'm excited for you to come home." He was like, "Wow."
What do you?
What does this
what
have
is
to
this
do?
What I'm trying to say
wait.
is, I'm bad with words, so give me another chance. So the three of us have seen.
That
That was
the
not
point?
words. That was just
That's
the
the point of
story.
this?
Yeah, I was like,
That
man,
didn't even
now-
give us the point
now
right
I'm
away.
excited for you to come home, Grant. Like I wasn't excited before. But
You excited for him to what?
Grant, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
You
But
excited for to what?
I'm excited to
For
go
him
get
to
Jet's
come.
Pizza.
All right.
Have you guys ever had Jet's Pizza?
No, we have
No.
not had Jet's Pizza.
Anyways.
So
Let's
we've
talk about the
seen-
movie.
Anyways, we've seen the movie already.
Yes.
Did you? What did you think about the movie? Did you like it? Hate it?
I really liked it.
You liked it?
After I
Why?
got past the part
I
of it
liked
being very like confusing and
It was
because-
very confusing.
well, we watched it twice.
I
so
think-
we
Well,
watched it.
no. I watched it once, and then I watched like a third of it awake, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah. So, I mean, after watching
not
it,
great.
after watching that second time, I was able to like, oh, okay, I kind of understand this much more now than when I watched it the first time because they don't really do a good job of explaining like who each character is and you know what they really do and like what their significance is until you actually get through the movie and you're like, oh, he does this and he's like the trifecta of like good.
Yeah.
What Paul is. He's like the heir to the throne of the
Yeah. I kind of like that though,
Atreides.
because it's
Truthsayer,
more. It's
warrior.
more of that storytelling element that I love, the show and don't tell. Because it would be boring if they just,
I
explained
guess so.
who
Yeah.
everybody was.
Well,
you know?
yeah, that's true.
You kind of figure out just by what they do. Like the guy who can read minds and make predictions. That one guy who's like eyes go white and he's like big brain time.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't. You don't know exactly what he's doing until that whole scene plays out.
Is it very
He's
much a
like-
movie that like? I'm pretty sure most of the time I'm just gonna be asking questions, but is it pretty much most of the movie is like you don't understand it, but it's like
Yeah, it's
more
like
of a-
Tenet.
Is it more okay?
Yeah.
So I probably would have. I don't know. I feel like there's a very fine line for movies like those, cause like.
I think you would have liked it.
You would have.
But the thing is that, like,
I
I guess.
you will like it if you ever do watch it.
I guess the way that like I don't know Christopher Nolan does it is like you have a lot of names, but like if you kind of just watch it, you're probably gonna enjoy it, which is probably the reason why he liked it.
Yeah, you didn't really need to know the names. You really didn't even need to know the houses or the names or anything like that, because each house.
Easily tell who's who.
Yeah, each house like Atreides basically just normal human beings, and then the Hackerin or whatever, the bad house or whatever, they were just a bunch of like weird bald white like really pale like bigger people.
Wow,
Just
Jack.
very ugly.
Really
Yeah.
trying to avoid the word
man.
fat, aren't you?
Fat,
Yeah, that-
white, ugly. Wow.
They were big people, but you could tell, and then obviously like the Bene Gesserit, they were like just these tall like. It wasn't. I think they were like also like kind of human, but they wore these very like exquisite black
Veils.
yeah, like
So they
veils over
were-
their head and
They were hardcore goth.
so you could tell who everybody was apart. Like you weren't getting anything confused. And
Very
then-
red and blue.
and then all the people who lived on the planet, the sand planet, they all had like what was it like
Blue
dead
eyes.
blue
They had
eyes.
the blue eyes because of the salt
The
yeah,
sand.
saturation in their eyeballs.
No, it was the
no,
spice.
it's the spice.
Or
the spice.
Spice.
Because they adapted to the environment. That's why.
Salt is a spice.
Yeah, it was like their entire eyeballs were just blue.
Salt Bay.
I don't know. The only, I guess it's just one of those things where, I don't know if I sound like a jerk, but like, we're watching it and then instantly Alex was like, "It's what is his name? Timothy Chalamet," and she's like, "It's Timothy Chalamet," and she's just, I'm like,
Who's Timothy Chalamet?
the main character,
Paul.
but I'm like,
He looks so malnourished.
Where's
but
he
he's very much like,
Where's he from?
He reminds me of my brother before he started working out.
like I feel like it'd be, this is gonna sound really mean, but like I feel like if I was like, I can't get this letter open, like I'd take his head and just be like, and then like open up the letter.
What,
He's
'cause
got a
his chin
sharp
is-
freaking chin.
Yeah, his jawline
I
is
mean-
very sharp.
I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not really being mean. It's kind of a compliment.
I mean, no. Like he's got a a nice jawline, but the chin is like very like.
He's got that
I
Angelina
don't know.
Jolie chin.
that's true.
I mean, I know this. I mean, it has something to do with the movie.
I mean,
but,
I
like,
honestly had no idea who this dude was before I even watched this movie.
Yeah, where's he from, Vicky?
Beats me. I didn't watch his movies.
no.
He was
That
in.
was
he
Alex
in,
who was like,
Yeah, it was Alex who was like that.
He was in like some like old movie where it's like they're I don't know.
I know
Nice.
Zendaya.
It was-
I know
They're like,
Zendaya's
you
in
know,
stuff,
they're just,
and I
you
see-
know.
I don't know. Okay, the thing that pissed me off was that we only saw Zendaya for like 5 minutes of the movie.
I think it's.
Yeah, I think her total screen time was like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that that's because they're leading up to
Like,
another movie.
yeah, so
I don't
like
even
a
have
part
to see it
2?
to guess that.
Yeah, it alluded to that, but like, what was her connection to Paul? Like he kept showing him like having
Visions of her.
visions of her.
But also
I
showed
don't
him
even know
having
what her name was in the movie. It was never said, I don't think. Is
Chanty?
that what her name was?
Shanti?
Shanti? I don't know.
I always
Oh, those are
thought
two.
like that has always been the weirdest thing that movies or like books or whatever have done, where they're like a character doesn't know much about his past or something, and then he'll see a woman, and then the woman's like, "I know you," and then you have to like piece it back together. And for
So
some reason,
stupid.
I find that to be dumb.
Wasn't really that. I don't. Because they, like, you would think at first it would be like, oh, it might be like a future projection of like things he's going to see in the future. But remember when they were kind of walking through the sand before they got ambushed by the, you know, that little like the sand people like clan or whatever, where he like fought to the death with that one guy. He was having the one dude.
Duncan?
No, remember in the sand or whatever. Towards the end of the movie, they had, like they were fighting.
Oh, yeah.
They had to like fight to the death with that one dude because he was like, you know, you got bested or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, he was having visions of the guy. I wish I could pull up his name so I could. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah, he was having visions that he was going to lose.
Jameis. Yeah, he wasn't having visions he was going to lose.
No,
he
that he was like friends with him.
Yeah, he was having visions that he was talking and having like a conversation with him, and the guy was like, "Let me show you like the way of like the I don't know like how to survive in this."
That was
like
at the end, right?
yeah, like he was having visions of that guy though, like in a friendly way. But then when he actually met him, obviously there is no future him where he's happy or like nice to him because he's dead now because Paul killed him.
Do you know where that was when they were talking?
In the middle of a rock.
No, it was. So I read this online. Apparently, Paul can learn from the past. So he was talking to Jameis from the past.
That doesn't seem like a superpower.
Is
It sounds
it?
like just like
I
something
thought he
that
was seeing
everyone has.
visions.
No,
that
that's
ability.
just part of his powers because he's like the Bene Gesserit and the Duke's son. So
Yeah,
it's-
but I thought he was seeing the future.
no,
learns-
because
he-
Jameis is dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't know.
what about Duncan? He saw him die. That was in the future, not the past.
What are you talking about? We're talking about Jameis.
No, she's
No.
talking about how he saw in his vision, in his
Paul.
dreams. How
Yeah,
Paul
He
saw in
saw-
his
he
dreams.
has visions
Duncan-
of what's going to happen in the future,
Oh.
but he can also learn from the past. That's
I
part of
guess.
his
I
abilities.
get that, but it makes no sense.
That's the reason why he was able to see the outcome where he loses to Jameis, and he was able to correct it.
I don't remember that scene. where
I
he-
don't remember that.
There was a scene where he was having a vision, and he saw that he was losing to Jameis, and Jameis stabbed him and killed him.
Oh, I saw that.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
think I saw that.
So he has-
There was also a bunch of scenes of him getting killed by Zendaya.
So he has
Yeah.
visions, ability to go in the past, OP voice power, and he's the Duke.
Yeah, I don't know how he like is able to get murked that easily because, I don't know, like his entire clan is able to just get destroyed like that. Like, why wouldn't he just like, I don't know, put him in front of like a loudspeaker? His mom, for instance, like she has the power too. To like,
All of you kill yourselves!
okay, like, just put him
Can't
in
do
front of
anything
a
about it.
loudspeaker and just have him like just.
Dude, how do
but
the
can you
Bene
do it on
Gesserit
that large
not?
of a scale?
How do they not
Honestly,
rule the
why not?
galaxy?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
universe.
saying.
They're
I mean,
OP as shit.
I'm pretty sure they hinted in the movie that the Bene Gesserit do like influence the emperor and
Yeah,
stuff like
they're
that.
like
the Imperial
emperors,
the
family.
like-
Emperor has its own truth sayer.
They're the emperor's like advisories or.
But I'm
like,
pretty sure
adversaries or
they're.
something.
I'm pretty sure they like and like you know behind the scenes like control everything.
What if it has to do with the spice and like only people that are affected by the spice? I don't listen. I haven't seen the movie, so I'm just going based off of what I've heard.
Very interesting.
No, the people
Love it,
affected
love
by the spice are different from the people we were talking about.
Yeah, they're
Well,
just
is
like
it is not everyone affected by the spice?
No, only.
only the people who have
well,
been living there for generations.
If you've been
though.
living there,
The
no,
spice.
I think if you just are there for a long amount of time, your eyes start turning blue because
Yeah.
that
Because
one
it's
lady,
affecting you,
right,
yeah.
that was suiting them up in the Fremen suits.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's like
she
part-
wasn't actually part of the Fremen. She got like
Well, she
integrated
was
into them.
accepted by them.
yeah, but because she was there so long, she also had
But
blue
then
eyes.
at the end, he said, "You're Fremen." She was like, "Yeah."
She was like I'm pretty sure she was half Fremen and also like served the emperor.
Yeah.
At some point.
But yeah.
There's some
but
like religion cult.
We talk about the Emperor a lot, but they actually do not show the Emperor at all in this movie. Like there's like they show his disciples like going to the House Atreides to like basically. I'll make a basic rundown. So in the beginning of the movie, or like right where the movie starts, the House of Hakarin were like occupying the sand place. What is the sand place called again?
Arrakis.
Arrakis. I always forget. They're occupying Arrakis, and the Emperor pretty much like, and they were like pretty cruel to like the sand people there. Like they would just straight up try and kill them. Like they wouldn't like bargain with them or anything. They try and rule and kill them. But the Imperial family like kicked them out. They're like, all right, you got to leave. And then they made a deal with the House Atreides to go in and take their place and continue the spice mining operations. And obviously like the Imperial family would like take a cut and whatnot. But what the House Atreides didn't know is when the House of Harakin left, they obviously like tarnished all the supplies and stuff that like wasn't put in place for them to use, like all the like miners and like all the refineries and stuff like that. Like it's all trash pretty much, and like the place is just terrible. Like they left it in like really bad condition.
Like ruins.
Yeah, and basically like the Truthsayers kind of like went and made a backdoor deal with the House of Harakin to go and invade the House Atreides while they were while they just like moved into the planet and basically just like kill them all for some reason, which didn't really
made no sense at all.
Yeah, because
So there was a movie in the 80s. There was a Dune movie in the 80s.
Yeah,
This is a
right.
remake of that.
Yeah.
In that movie, this whole plot is explained in the first 5 minutes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see one of the
Maybe
first
that's why I
characters
did
you
so
meet
bad.
is the Emperor.
Wait, really?
What the heck?
And the Harkonnens show up with this big, gross alien dude. Alien dude's just like, we have plans. And then the Emperor's like, okay, here's the plan. So he just explains the whole thing. And they're like, so I'm going to kick you guys out. I'm going to make the Atreides people go to Arrakis. And
Wait, really?
you're going to go and gank the Atreides people and kill them all.
Oh my god.
Wasn't the old Dune movie like ranked really bad? Like
Yeah,
it was
it's
rated
bombed.
so
So
badly.
for like a, I don't know, time scale, Nick, you said there was 5 books
There's
you saw?
3
Oh, 3.
that I saw.
Nick's claiming there's 3 Dune books that came out. I think those came out in like 1964 or something like that, or I don't know. There was 19 something. And then they made a Dune movie back in like I think the 80s. I think it was 83 when they came out with the Dune movie. I saw the trailer. It looked like trash. Nick watched the first how much of it, said it was
I
trash.
couldn't stand it.
Obviously the
Fight,
rating,
the fight scene in the Dune movie, the one that just came out
Yeah.
with Thanos and Paul. I keep calling him Thanos.
Thanos
Thanos?
and Paul.
But anyway, Thanos fights Paul with the shields. The shields
Oh.
are cool, right?
yeah.
Do you know what they look like in the old movie?
What?
Schneider, you should look it up. It's so funny.
Old shield.
They basically are these giant translucent
I'll put it up on the screen.
rectangular
But,
prisms.
oh my gosh.
You can't even see them. They're just
Oh, is that what
rectangular
it is?
prisms
Oh,
smashing each other.
I think I saw a snippet of that. That was
It's
funny.
so retarded. I mean, it's so dumb.
So yeah, the Dune movie that came out before did just terrible. I guess it didn't do the books justice because I'm assuming the books were probably really good. And then they decided to do a remake of that, and it actually did pretty good. It got 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb,
Dude, this looks like a
82 on
guy
Rotten
from
Tomatoes.
like N64.
What was
That's
the-
terrible?
What the?
Yeah, look at that. We'll pop an
I'll
image
pop it up on the
Why
screen.
is it so
somewhere.
bad?
That is so
You'll-
funny.
You can just look it up at home, but it was awful. I mean, if
That
you
is,
really
I'll
want,
put a comparison of the two.
Dude, that's weird.
if
Because
you're
I'm
really
looking
curious, just watch like the first 20 minutes and never
I'm
touch
looking
the
at,
old
that
Dune
is
movie
funny.
again.
I'm looking at all these photos, and they have photos like of how they did Blue Eyes back in the 80s.
I'm just gonna Sharpie and just kind of.
Well, so
Blue
what I'm
food coloring
assuming
and put
they
it in your-
did is the same way that they did lightsabers, which is essentially they have to like take a piece of
Oh.
film and then go over that, and then frame by frame go like,
Yeah,
okay,
don't they
blue,
have to-
blue,
oh.
blue, blue,
Mm.
blue, blue.
It's
like the most painstaking.
Why don't they just
shit
dig
to do.
contacts?
I don't think they had that
Wasn't
back
a
then.
thing.
Because it.
Why don't they just
In the
pour light
80s?
blue makeup?
Like blue contacts.
No, they didn't have blue
Hmm.
contacts
I
back
don't think
then.
they did.
How do you know that? Look it up. When were color contacts invented?
When we're calling 1930s.
1930s.
Oh,
Alright,
colored
alright.
contacts were
Fake
introduced
news.
in the late 1930s when Metro MGM makeup artists approached a Beverly Hills ophthalmologist about the possibility of changing an actor's eye color from brown to blue in an upcoming movie.
Boom. Why didn't they just do that?
But
Probably because
Stupid.
it'd give you like cancer back then.
probably. But dude,
Well,
this
they had invented it. Like, they had time to fix
Hey,
it in 50
I gotta
years.
say, though,
so.
When are we
like-
getting that WD-40 sponsor?
oh my gosh. So I saw like compared to what I like the little snippet of the trailer that I saw from the old movie,
Mm-hmm.
the visuals in this movie are like astounding.
Oh yeah,
They're amazing. Like,
cinematography work is also very
oh,
good
it was
too.
great. The CGI was amazing. Did you think the CGI was good? I thought the CGI was great.
No,
The
it was-
CGI
it
was
was
like the
amazing.
worms and the
yeah,
and
Yeah.
the giant excavator for the spice.
giant excavator,
I'm sure the
the
spaceships
flying
too.
ships.
It was great. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, Corridor Digital did a video on it. I haven't watched it yet, just because like, I haven't seen. The
Also,
movie,
another
but-
thing, the soundtrack, the main overture of this.
Wait,
this
how-
movie?
Have
is-
you guys ever seen Glee?
No.
How does this have to do with the overture? of
Okay,
Dune?
well, I
Don't
saw a
even miss the
TikTok.
Pizza.
No, listen, I saw a TikTok, and if anyone in our, viewers like have seen Glee, you might like understand this. But Kurt Hummel, the like really like one of the main characters, it sounded like him saying some like words I can't remember, but like it sounded like him saying like stuff.
Oh, listen.
it was really funny. I
there's
saw
a-
the TikTok, but
And the
I don't know.
music?
yeah, it was like the part where it was like I don't know.
Oh
saying
no, I
weird-
know exactly which part. And
Yeah.
it goes, come get your dinner. It sounds exactly.
Yeah,
like
that's basically
that.
what it is.
Yeah.
It sounds. We might have to. I'm not gonna play it now because we might get copyright strike.
Well,
for
we
it,
already got
but-
copyright strike because I just sang it perfectly.
Oh yeah.
yeah, perfectly.
I don't know. The soundtrack sounded. I mean, I like a good soundtrack, but like from what I heard, I was like,
No, I
I
really
thought it was
liked
pretty
it.
good.
was it?
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe
During
maybe
the-
it was just like the one bit that I heard that
During
I was
the
like,
intense scenes, it was good intense music, and during the like the cool like visual like
Yeah.
overview scenes, it was like really cool like cinematographic music. I don't know. I don't know. Just it tied in correctly. Like it was great.
Oh, it's by Hans Zimmer.
He was a director.
No,
No,
the
he was the.
Oh, he was
soundtrack.
the soundtrack.
He was
guy?
the composer.
Cool.
He does
Who else would we hear Hans Zimmer in?
he did Interstellar and No Time to Die.
Oh,
That's
really?
probably why it was pretty good. 'Cause
Like
he
James
al-
Bond, No Time to Die.
Yeah, he also did Inception and The Dark Knight.
Mm.
yeah, that's probably why it was
Yeah.
pretty good. 'Cause,
And
Interstellar's
He did
music
The Lion
was A1
King.
sauce.
Checks out.
and Dunkirk.
But anyways,
All checks out. Yeah.
I gotta say the
Zimmer
worms.
is that guy.
The worms were probably like one of my favorite parts of the movie, dude. Because
Yeah.
just like I've never like obviously I've seen concepts of like big monsters and stuff like that, but just like giant sandworms that like there's a whole gimmick to them too. They're not just kind of like these dormant things that come out every once in a while. There's like I don't know what seems to be like hundreds of thousands of them or whatever on this planet, and they travel so deep. But then if you just so happen to step in a straight line,
They're attracted to beat.
yeah, but just they're thousands of feet down is what they're saying. But then just by you like just stepping in like a
Or you're
rhythmic,
just like,
Yeah, they can feel the vibrations.
they can
You're
feel
dead.
the
Yeah.
small vibrations.
You're-
You're toast.
They're that
you're fucking
connected.
dead.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
that
the only
connected to
reason,
the planet.
yeah, the only reason why Paul and his mom survived in that last scene when they're getting chased by a worm is because that worm was like a pretty small one. Like compared to
yeah,
the freaking worm in the
dude. It was
beginning of the
it
film
was
that
freaky.
ate the excavator.
It was freaky.
That
There-
excavator was.
It
how-
was
how many-
there most of the shot, and I didn't even realize it was there until like it just started emerging more
Yeah.
and more.
The excavator was probably about 200 feet tall and like
You could barely,
hundreds
like-
of feet.
It was huge.
It was giant.
If you paid close enough attention, you could see the teeth of it like come
Yeah.
out of the sand first, but it's really hard to see. But once it starts to completely emerge, then you see the whole thing. It's like, oh
Then
my
you see the
God.
excavator and just a tiny speck, as compared to the worm's mouth.
Yeah,
It's
the excavator's
holy
huge.
shit.
So like,
Those worms reminded me
this
of
is this is the excavator. This is the worm's mouth.
That's actually a pretty good comparison. This is the
Yeah.
worm's mouth, and the little things are.
One of these little
This is the
almond toys
excavator.
is the excavator.
Worms have always been like an odd fear.
No,
of
yeah.
mine.
They reminded me of the those like little bacteria monsters from like the Monsters Inside of Us. Like I don't know if you guys have seen that show on like Animal Planet.
Magic School Bus.
No, it's called The Monsters Inside of Us, and it's like it showed this one scene or like this one episode when I was younger about like if you accidentally eat dirt or something, you can
Oh.
have these like worm parasites live inside your body
Yeah, tapeworm.
and
Yeah,
eat you.
tapeworm. Mhm.
And I was like, that is terrifying. I'm never
I
eating
never
dirt.
associate teeth with worms, though.
No, it was like, oh, they're so disgusting.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I didn't. I really liked it though. I thought they were like incredible. And then in the very end, yeah. In the very end, they rode the worm.
Yeah,
or like
they
not
did.
they did, but there was in the
People.
very like end scene, they saw like the sand people. They were riding
yeah.
the worm or whatever, like
Yeah, so
to the sand city or
The
whatever. it
Fremen
was.
people, they worship
Sorry.
Bless
the
you.
worms. They like
Do
there's
they?
there's this uber powerful worm they worship as like a god.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I didn't know that.
I could
thought
be
they were just-
wrong, but it's more interesting to just go off what
I
I know.
thought
But
they were just smart creatures that just kind of like ate anything that moved, including metal.
and what
How's
I
that
thought
smart?
was really cool was how they like make
Don't know.
weapons. They made weapons out of like their teeth.
Yeah,
So
that was
that
really
dagger
cool.
that was given to Paul.
Yeah, that has to be really cool though.
It's like, how do you make a weapon out of their teeth? Like their teeth must be
It
very
was also
strong.
so cool. They're like, oh yeah, if you like when they're up in the dragonfly thing, and they're
Yeah.
like, hey, like if you look off in the distance, if you're lucky, you'll be able to like spot one or whatever. They're like, hey, is that one? And it
just
just
coming
this-
straight towards them.
It looks like an ocean, right? It looks like a wave just
Oh my
going
God,
over, but
dude.
it's sand, and it's a freaking giant worm just causing a huge ripple in the sand and waves of sand to pour off the side. It was
It's like an
Just
it was like an explosion of sand that was
Yeah.
just constantly moving forward.
You know, they did a-
explosion never went away. It was just,
yeah. They did a perfect job of showing that like on screen. Like I don't think they could have done that better. The way they showed that first worm or whatever, like getting closer in the sand, like
Yeah.
it was nuts.
And then like it would when it got really really close, the sand beneath you would like crackle and give, and you'd fall in. It would like turn to quicksand.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool.
it was nuts. I don't know how they lived, but it was nuts.
They could have totally just been lazy with it though, and just been like the worms
The
coming,
end.
and then just comes out of the earth, like, and that's it. It's like, I'm the worm, but no, it's like catastrophic. The sand's like shaking and quaking underneath you, and
I know, they
you're
did a good-
losing your
I didn't-
balance, and you can't run away anymore.
They could have been really lazy with it, and you know how the they have like a I don't know, it's like a pickup system for the extractors that like takes them away before the worms like
God, that
actually
whole
get them.
scene
They could have
Yeah.
been really lazy, be like, oh, that works, and then it just floats away as the worm's like, damn
just
it,
works last minute.
I wanted metal.
Yeah, in the old one, it was like it had a mouth, but it was like 3 pieces that like opened up.
Did
Oh.
it have worms in the old one?
Yeah, so it had like 3 pieces to its mouth, but I think this one is freaking terrifying because it's just like this big hole with a bunch
Oh.
of
It's like a bunch of like nails for teeth, very
That's like-
long nails.
I think it's because like
Oh,
it has like,
wait,
God, I don't like that.
but it's not as
It looks
scary
like
as
a gross whale.
it's not as scary as the
What's
new
this?
one though.
That
Just
doesn't
like a
look
suction
too
cup.
bad, actually.
No,
Is that
get
what it
your-
looked like in the old movie?
I think this is what it is.
Well, you watched it.
I only watched 20 minutes. They didn't even get to Arrakis.
Where did you even watch it on?
There was a scene where it was after Paul and Thanos fought. Or,
Thanos.
Keep saying Thanos, but
Who's
in the old
Thanos?
Dune, it was Paul fighting Lord Saint Sir Patrick Stewart,
Who's that?
Really?
He's
Professor X from X-Men.
or he's from Star Trek. He's
Yeah, but what character
Captain
does he
Kirk.
play?
He plays the same character that Thanos played in the new Dune. He's that guy that
Thanos.
Paul fights with.
You mean
He,
Josh Brolin?
Josh
Yeah.
Brolin, yeah.
Yeah.
Brolin.
Do you know what character Josh
Uh,
Brolin played in
He's
the
called
movie?
Gurney. But
Who's
he's
Gurney?
he's just the guy who like fought
Remember when they were
Paul
sparring in the
when they were
beginning?
Sparring, yeah.
Oh, that
Sir
dude.
Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart is that guy in the old movie.
Mm,
I forget what we were talking about before that.
sorry, I was so confused. I don't
Wait,
know actor
How did you
names.
watch the old Dune movie? Where'd you watch it? on?
It was on HBO Max
Was
because
it?
we were like, I want to watch Dune again because it's been a while since I watched it, and I just want to have a better like memory of it for the podcast. And then we look, and it's not on there anymore because it's been a month, so I took it off. So we were like, maybe watching the old Dune will help. So we watched the old Dune. The first 20 minutes were super beneficial, and I could just stop watching after that.
You know
I
what
left off at some. So it was after they were done sparring. It just cut to like this really cringe scene. It was like Atreides soldiers marching, but they the way they were marching, it was the most unnatural form of marching, and it just made me very uncomfortable. It was like very high knees and not moving very fast.
You know,
It looked uncomfortable to perform too.
You know what
so
I
I was
really
like,
hope?
if this is what the rest of the movie is, I can't watch it anymore.
You know,
So
I really
just
hope
quit.
they implement in the next Dune movie. Remember how they mentioned where they were like, oh, if you just put a shield over, why don't you just put a shield over the excavator or whatever, so the worms can't like, I don't know, damage it. And they were like, oh, if you put like a shield over it, it like sends a frequency like through the ground that makes pretty much every single worm in like 100-mile radius come and just go into a feeding frenzy and like.
Wait, that would actually be very strategic. Why don't you do that?
And kill
right?
the worms.
No, they
And
wouldn't. They don't kill each other. They just go nuts and they just try and like eat whatever's on the surface
Yeah, I
around
know.
that area.
If
Wow, how'd that be?
if
strategic?
it attracts every worm on the planet,
How do they kill the worms?
no, just put it in some place you don't want to be.
I don't think
Oh,
they
that's-
stay.
And then attract all worms to that one location, and then start mining scot-free.
I don't think they stay there for eternity.
Yeah, but they're all
Yeah,
all
but if they're-
preoccupied, and you're safe because you're on the other side of
What
the
I
planet.
find, what I find
you have
weird,
fun over there.
You have fun over there, worms. Or
what I find
mining
weird
spice.
is you say how many worms are there? Is there like
I think there's like thousands or
thousands?
something like that. Yeah.
So you have these massive worms who like feed off of like whatever steps on the sand.
Mm-hmm.
If nobody steps on the sand, and these things are massive, what are they eating?
They're just like Titans
Themselves.
from Attack on Titan.
Do they just not eat?
Yeah.
That wasn't really explained, but I'm sure they're.
I mean, obviously they
I'm
have.
sure
I'm
their
sure they-
main
I'm
source
sure
of
they
food
just
isn't
eat-
humans.
I have a theory. They eat spice, right? But you know, every animal
Jet
has a
fueled worm.
digestive tract, and they poop. The worms
And?
get this. It's like a infinite cycle. They poop spice. So, the means of space travel is worm poop.
So you have to sacrifice people in order to. Okay, but that still doesn't answer
not
the
even
question.
people. They eat spice, right? They eat the spice. That's their main source of food.
So they eat spice.
They eat
Nothing
spice.
happens to it, and it comes out as spice.
They just poop spice.
It'd just be an infinite cycle. That's
Yeah.
like me eating my own feces.
It's simple. Because what else would they eat?
Interesting theory.
I don't think that theory works.
I'm pretty sure the only animal on
Your
Arrakis.
theory is stupid.
The only animal on Arrakis are worms.
I don't know. They didn't really.
I don't know.
I don't know. They didn't really go in depth with that. I guess they really could have, like, because.
You don't see any other animals.
Okay, but
Well, in
also-
one of the scenes, Paul was like learning about the worms
Yeah,
or
but-
something like that. So they could have been like, oh yeah, they feed on like.
What do the people of Arrakis like eat though? Like the freaking those people.
Spice.
No. Yeah.
World
sure.
runs in spice.
And get this.
Weren't they trying
They
to eat each
also
other?
poop spice.
Weren't they trying to eat each
I
other?
think so. Yeah.
Because wasn't the one guy who they like fought in the end? He's like, we need your water and we need your blood or something like that, or I don't even know.
So
I'm pretty sure it was because like the Harkonnens like starved them. I don't know.
like
I don't know the
you
lore.
you go in. What if we had that equivalent though? So like in their world, you can't step on sand. But imagine it was like
Well, you can. What they teach them to do is it's called like the
Sandwalk.
The sandwalk, yeah, and they basically just kind of like you basically walk out of rhythm. So you kind of like take 2 steps, then like jump to the side, and then maybe like like slush your foot on like make like a I don't know, just kind of like you just move like out of rhythm, and they don't get attracted to that because it's not like that's what it is.
then why don't the
I
excavators?
think one of us needs to recreate this just for demonstration.
Why don't the excavators then just create an offbeat tone?
I don't know. Well,
Then-
I mean, think about it. Like
It's a huge machine though.
that has the engine running that's constantly like da 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 da.
I guess
like,
that's
it sits there
true.
like I don't know how you mute
But
that
what if-
unless you make it electric.
But anyway, what if the equivalent was like the ocean for us? Like what if just the entirety of Earth was like just ocean, and then like this small little section, or there's different sections of just like islands or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like in order for you to get your food, you have to go in water. But the second you like start swimming in water, like let's say the water's like I don't know, like 500 feet deep, or however extremely
There's
deep
giant
is.
worms. That,
No, there's just massive just creatures. The moment you like splash in the
the
water, all
Reaper
you see-
Leviathan comes after
yeah,
you?
all you see is like a megalodon coming at you at like extreme speed, and then you're just
That's terrifying.
yeah, because
See
I'm
a
scared of the ocean and screw
Tyrannosaurus
that.
Rex with
The only-
fins coming after you.
the only difference is that you can walk on sand. You can't really walk on water. So
Yeah, but sand I think at like, well, maybe not. Never mind. I was gonna say sand. like loose sand is just as hard to
Oh, of
maneuver
course.
in as like.
And when the worms get really close to you, they vibrate the sand so much to where it makes it into quicksands. You basically just can't move. You're kind of you're stuck.
I think that's why those are so scary to me, is because they like have the equivalent of like something that you'd find only in the ocean.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about the combat in this movie? Like the action fighting
Yeah.
is so interesting because it all revolves around this idea that you have shields, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shields deflect anything that moves super fast. So in
Right.
order to fight through the shield, you have to. It basically forces you into hand-to-hand combat. It's like very interesting.
You have to do it slow though to be able to penetrate the shield.
Yeah, like you have to move your dagger past the shield and then shank them or something. But the overall combat is so fluid, and the camera shots are nice and still too. I don't really remember there being shaky camera in this movie during fights. It's all very fluid and one shot. It's not like traditional Western style cinematography where it's like camera shots constantly cutting off. You don't really know who's hitting who because the camera's shaking so much. But it's kind of like John Wick,
Yeah.
right? The fights are
yeah.
so smooth in this, and it's fun. It's very fun to watch, you know. And
No, definitely.
I made a note of the scene where Paul kind of looks into the future, and it's him fighting with the Fremen against the Emperor's blades.
Yeah. Yeah.
That scene was so cool, dude.
Yeah, where he's like jumping all over the place.
He's just like running through dudes, like running their shit with a
What was
dagger.
considered to be fast though?
What do you mean?
Like you say, it deflects anything that's fast.
So like bullets,
A bullet,
or
even
a tank shell,
even like a sword or
shrapnel.
like a dagger or something.
know.
If you go
Okay.
too fast like this, it's not gonna go through. You have to like sit there and like that slow. See I don't know. What I thought was kind of stupid is like the tranquilizer on the
that was
the
weird.
leader,
Yeah,
Paul's dad.
it
before
wasn't
he got,
even
like,
a trank.
murked.
It was a poison dart or something.
I don't know. It just made him
So
like.
you remember that thing that Paul saw, that little fly thing?
Oh,
the
yeah.
dart at the end of it.
Yeah.
It was that thing, I think.
No, it was
That
it was a
wasn't
dart.
what
It was
got
like
the
a,
dad.
It was a straight up like dart. Like they
It was.
Like they threw
Oh.
a dart. Yeah, but like, so the the leader, he was wearing a shield, but like somebody threw shot a, or not somebody, it was a doctor, but he shot a tranquilizer dart at the at
Yeah.
his back, and literally like the only reason why he got hit with it is because
Because it was in that one spot.
it's because it was in that one spot. He's like, I can't get it. That
Yeah,
one
it was
spot
like-
you're sitting there,
you
like,
can't
trying to, like
reach.
swat it away when he could have just like, I don't know, moved his back into the wall and kind of like shoot it off.
Yeah,
of him
moved
or
his back
something.
into
Yeah,
the
but
wall
how
and
was
push
it
it
staying
into his
up?
back.
Listen, it was just like vibrating and like hovering on his body. Why wouldn't it just fall?
It almost was like it was just burrowing through the shield.
Yeah, it
somehow,
was like being
like-
like
brute
like-
forcing itself through the shield.
yeah, so like it was
But
attracted
it was
to
there
it.
for a good 5 seconds before it actually like penetrated the shield and went into it.
I
Like,
don't-
violently shaking. It was like.
I don't
Yeah.
understand how it stayed up though.
What was that movie you just did?
I like moved my gullet.
Yeah, and
I
then-
was like,
Okay, and then when the House of Harakin came and attacked House Atreides, they were bombing their like buildings and stuff like that. And the buildings had shields on them, but the shields were completely useless.
yeah,
in my opinion.
they got blown up.
Yeah, because like the bullets, they would go on top of it, and the bullet would just kind of like sit there for a second until it could like slowly fall through the shield and then blow up the thing. I'm like, what's the point of the shield then? You're just delaying the inevitable by 5 seconds.
It was like they had weaponry to combat that technology. It was like
Yeah, but it was really poopy and like didn't
I don't
work
know.
and got blown up.
it's
Everything
like
got blown
they
up.
designed shells that hit their target when they make contact with the shield. They like slow
Like,
down. I
You
don't know.
Remember in Thor: The Dark World, where the elf dude pretty much like takes down the shield for, I don't know, Thor's homeworld or whatever. What is it called?
Asgard.
Asgard. Yeah, he takes down the shield
Pleb.
of like Asgard from like the inside by just like, I don't know, punching something, and like the whole shield comes down, and then all the goblins are able to come and invade. That's basically what this is. Like the Doctor like
Oh.
was a traitor to like the leader, and he was like, he single-handedly turned off the shield, which is very flawed.
Yeah.
There was like 2 guards watching the shield, and like he just kind of like snuck up on him, like and, like shot him.
Yeah.
and
And
then just walked in, like turn off, and then everybody died.
Yeah, and he did it because he was trying to save his family, but his family was already dead.
Yeah, his family died, and then basically he he betrayed him, right? Because the enemy, like the other house, had his like enslaved his like his wife and kid or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just his wife.
No, wife and kid, yeah.
Yeah, and he wanted him back, so he struck a deal with him like on the backhand. He was like, hey, like if you betray them and like shut down their shields, we can get in. I'll get you your like wife and kid back. He was like, all right. So, fast forward, he turns off the shield, tranquilizes the leader. And then he takes out the leader's tooth and replaces it with a poison tooth. So he's like, okay, when you're in the room with him, like after obviously I leave, hopefully, then just bite down on your tooth and it'll literally kill everybody in the room. So he does that, and then fast forward to the scene where like the two house leaders are talking to each other. Doesn't he call him cousin?
Yeah,
Are they related?
I guess so.
They might be related. You don't recognize the relation at all, but anyways,
Also,
yeah, he basically is like, the dude's like, I've done, the guy who betrayed him to the bad guy who's like, I've done what you said. Please free my wife and kid now. And he's like, let me finish eating first.
Let me think about that.
Sits there and gobbles
think about
down
that.
this
He's like,
disgusting food that he's slurping down.
I think as humans.
Ugh. And then he like, turns on his floating back power, and he like the fat man like floats over the table. He's like, come here. Just grabs him by the neck. He's like, go join them.
Listen, the
Kills him.
villain is like this big old like snake body. He looks like
he's
really
literally
gross.
Aldrich the Deep.
No, he doesn't have a snake body. He just wears dresses to make him look very tall and like snake-like.
Yeah, but I think he has like a snake body. How
No,
the fuck is he
snake.
levitating then?
Have you not seen? You don't remember that scene where like those little back thing like turns on and then like he kind of just like floats up? It's
Why is that? That's so
It's literally
useless.
just a big old dude with the floating technology or whatever.
I'm actually convinced he's
I
a
don't think that
very
makes him float.
elongated man.
I think he
No,
has a
'cause
snake
see,
body.
No, because you see the scene of him just straight up floating.
I think he has a snake body. Like he's just like a really long he's just really long.
Also, you
I
can't
think so.
That
I
makes
don't
sense to
understand.
me.
Picture,
Why
I'll
would
throw
he
it
just
up.
float?
How
That makes no sense.
piece of shit
Why-
didn't
why would he just
die
float in the air?
when
Yeah, so
a Duke Atreides like bit down on the cyanide pill and released that poisonous gas everywhere.
yeah, so fast forward, Nick. Dude bites down on the tooth, the poison tooth that he got implanted, kills obviously himself, but then like the range of that poison is like insane and instant too.
It,
so
it,
like
fill, it
the
automatically
entire
fills up the
dining
entire
hall,
room.
he just kind of like kills like immediately, except for the head, the Duke of Harakan or whatever, who just kind of like gets all scared or like he's like he's like choking on it and like floats up to the ceiling. And so then like later when they check in on him, they're like, what happened in here? And everybody's dead. And they look up, and he's just like spazzing out
I'm
on the
just having
ceiling.
sleepy time on the ceiling.
That was so stupid.
And then,
Like, bro,
then their way
how-
of healing him is dunking him in a big bath of oil. For
Yeah,
a while.
yeah.
I'm looking at that image right now.
It's just human paste.
I'm
it's
just
so-
like, what
Human oil
the
paste.
world?
No, he floats.
That's so stupid.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, he floats. He's not just a elongated boy. He just wears dresses to make him look like he's elongated.
Why?
Who knows, bro? He
It's so dumb.
eats humans and kills people brutally and is cruel. I think
Pretty
him
sure he
wearing
just-
dresses is like the least.
I'm
of
pretty sure
everybody's
when he
worries.
has a dress on, he's just attached to the human centipede.
Ugh.
So he's got another person's head up his ass.
Oh God.
Then he goes floaty mode, and then he takes the guy's head out of his ass. And he's like,
Oh God.
look at me. Also, I call complete bullshit, because gas takes up the volume of its container. So the gas would go all the way to the ceiling. How the fuck did he not get poisoned?
Yeah, that's what's so stupid.
I don't know.
This would have been such a short movie. The shitty movie, too.
I don't think it would have been short because he kind of like went dormant after the whole like getting hurt by the poison
Yeah.
scene. He was just kind of like chilling in his bath of oil while his nephew like kind of took over operations.
He apparently just has the strength of like 2 elephants, so he needs like to be bit by 10 rattlesnakes to die.
But
I don't know.
I thought was funny though. Like throughout the movie, like they were like, so why are we going to Harakan or whatever to, like do all this or whatever? And the dad was like, well, basically we have air power and we have ground power, or we have ocean power and air power, but we don't have. And he's like, what is it, Dad? And he's like, sand power. Like straight up.
There was
Straight up,
moments.
it's called sand
Yeah.
power, and then I was like, well, okay, that's derpy. And then at the very end, like the scene where they're like walking into the sand people's like town or whatever, and they're like everything's all happy, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna be great. He like turns and like looks at his mom. He's like, sand power. I'm like, what the heck? It's so derpy. Like, why'd they have to call it sand power?
You had land and ocean power. You wanted sand power. Now you have no power because you're all dead.
Yeah, your entire population is wiped out. You have no power.
Get wrecked. Get memed on by the Emperor who
memed on.
never
Sand.
appears in the movie.
Yeah, that was,
Aside from the Emperor never appearing in this movie, I can't find any gripes with this film.
yeah, I really wonder what the Emperor looks like. But honestly, I think that's a good thing they didn't show him because I don't know, it gives everybody a sense of mystery. Like, oh, who is this Emperor guy that we're talking about, you know?
They better cast him good though, because they're making it be like he's like powerful,
Well, I'm sure
like
they
sure
could.
he's
really
very
big,
powerful.
bad, and powerful.
I
Dave
swear.
Bautista.
I was gonna say, I swear if it's
Dave
The
Bautista,
Rock,
too.
it's gonna be.
It's
Gonna
No.
really tank.
No, it's not.
I swear, my rating of the
the-
entire trilogy will go from like an 8 to
that's-
a 5.
I'm
Dude, it's like
sorry,
Ryan, it's like
but, like-
Ryan Reynolds or something.
Yeah, I'm
He was the
sorry, but, like,
leader.
those-
Hey guys, I'm the Emperor.
They-
Also, you're dead.
They're put into categories. Like, there's actors who like you can put in serious movies like all the time, and then there's actors where they can kind of go both ways, and then there's actors where no matter what you do with them, it's probably not going to work. Kevin Hart is like a strange one because he was in that like really good movie where his like wife died, but
Oh yeah.
even him, he's like,
They should just make.
It's like
just,
Will Smith or
Just
something.
make Daniel Craig the Emperor.
Daniel
Or
Craig.
Sir Patrick Stewart. Just make Sir Patrick Stewart.
They
the-
could.
Bring him back
Make
in.
that a homage to the trash heap.
That
of the
honestly
first
be
Dune.
kind of like funny but cool, you know,
Yeah.
as like a you know,
homage to the
yeah, the very first.
Do I mean
movie
do
that
it while he's
totally-
still like, healthy and kicking. You know,
How old is he?
he's pretty old.
He's pretty old. It's funny how.
I'm just saying. I'm giving the Dune crew some really good ideas. I really think they should take me up on these offers.
Do you know how much
Pro-
Zendaya
approach Sir Patrick Stewart. Give me like 10%.
You know how much Zendaya got paid to get her like 8 minutes of screen time? I'm pretty sure the entire time they needed her for this film was like 2 days, or something like that.
She got paid what, like $1 million?
No, she got paid for 8 minutes like screen time and like only 2 days of work, like $300,000. But still, like that's a. Put that in perspective. I think I saw that she got paid for the first Spider-Man movie. She got paid like only $300,000. I mean, not I say only, but like she got paid $300,000 to be in like the whole Spider-Man movie. In this movie, she was only in for like total
8
screen time of
minutes
8 minutes, and got paid $300,000 for 2 days of
Like
work.
the same amount basically. Right?
I mean, she was basically the face of all the trailers that have been coming out about
Yeah.
the movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people were pissed they only saw that like a small amount of her.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's good for marketing, because it's like
she's
it's
definitely gonna be in the movie more now though.
Yeah, now she'll probably be more of a main character and probably get paid millions to be in the movie.
I like comparing this movie to like The Lord of the Rings and those other movies because it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a very popular trilogy.
I don't know if it's gonna
Yeah.
be on par with those. I don't think
might
it's gonna
not,
compare.
but I can hope.
I hope it does. up
In
to
the
par.
first Lord of the Rings, you don't really get introduced to Legolas and like the dwarf guy. I forget his name. You don't get introduced to them until like the end of the first movie, and then they're like in all the second and third movie. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Zendaya will be all over the next coming movies for Dune. So.
Well,
Why-
I'm sure.
Why'd you make that face?
I didn't make the face
You
for
made-
any
you made the
reason.
face.
We're
You
at an
made-
hour. You guys want to give your
Let's
ratings?
give the reviews. We're running out of time.
We're almost out of time. We got about 2 minutes before.
Let's make
we're
it nice
kicked
and
outta here.
quick. No,
2 minutes?
Yeah.
just throw a number.
well,
Okay.
because
Oh
Vicky.
shit.
anyway,
Number.
Oh.
Guess Vicky's going first.
I don't give a rating.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh,
What am I gonna give it on? What I've
I mean, I
heard?
guess.
For what I've heard.
From
No,
what
no,
you
no,
heard,
no.
like a
7 out of.
would you watch this movie?
Oh, I'd probably watch it. I mean,
Alright.
if I had, go ahead, just go.
Do you trust me, Schneider?
Mm,
Do you trust me for this rating? Just give the same rating that I give. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd watch it again.
We've already
Actually,
watched it
no.
twice.
I haven't actually watched it twice all the way through.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know if I would watch it again, but I would watch the sequel if they came out with it. So
Oh, 100%.
I would probably give it like a 7.5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not an 8.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. The main thing that got it for me was the cinematography.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the derpy memes of Sam Power.
There
But-
was some funny parts in it.
Yeah, there was some funny. Like it wasn't made to be funny in the movie, but I just found it funny.
Yeah.
Like looking at it, like there's really. It's kind of how I liked it. There was really no like. It was all serious. Well, I wish there had a little comedy to it, but it was basically like all serious, like straight to the point, but good story. So, for all the reasons I mentioned before, I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. That was a pretty good movie.
Excellent cinematography and world building. Lays groundwork for a really good series.
100%.
Really excited to watch the next movies. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Does nothing wrong, but it's not like the best movie I've ever seen. It's just a good movie. It's a very good movie. I'd watch it again.
Yeah. I mean, hey, our final rating is pretty much on par with all the other critics.
Probably
So
an 8 out of 10, yeah.
if we can get a drum roll, please. They can actually be popped up on the screen above us now.
Oh no, we're gonna die of worms.
7.8 out of 10.
Cool.
Actually, they didn't hear that because the yay thing just played.
Oh. Yeah, the sound effect for it.
The sound effect. No! Yay!
It's my favorite.
We could just do that sound effect.
It's my favorite effect that
But
we
yeah,
have.
everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We love to hear your feedback. We have shout out to Mark the Hamlet. Don't really know who you are. Don't know if you're
Markiplier.
one of our friends or something like that, but you're a homie. You comment on like all of our videos, and we love replying to your comments. And he recently just said that he watched us on Apple Podcasts. He sent a comment saying,
wow.
"I just watched you on Apple Podcasts." He was wondering when we're gonna upload all of our old videos, or he or she. I'm assuming it's a he, but upload all of our old videos onto the thing. And I was like, man, that's cool. It's like a viewer who actually like cares so far. So shout out to you, Mark the Hamlet. I'm pretty sure.
Dude. Thanks a bunch. We
Yeah,
really
bro.
appreciate it.
You a homie. And yeah, that's pretty much all we got.
All right, so we're out of here.
Peace out, everybody.
Sorry
Like,
for
comment,
being
subscribe
late.
if you want to see more, and yeah, peace.